You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge.
What's up, y'all? Back at it again. Excuse me. Episode 214. And we winding down. That football season is winding down. But we got some non-football topics on the horizon for this week. Hope I'm here to discuss them with you. We got a wild week for LeBron. Yeah, LeBron still season 18, still having these type of weeks, man. LeBron, how do you do it, man? I don't know. Let's see, we got all the Warriors, the best team in NBA once again. Is it 2015 and 16 all over? Nah, Steph just got tired of y'all forgetting about him. His Warriors are making another run. I'm here to tell you now. They making another run, so you better get ready for it. Let's see what else going on this week. My Hawks, woo! My Hawks, baby, don't lost 6 straight. And what's up after that 6-game losing streak? Man, we don't pumped up to 7-game losing streak. Back where we belong. Thanks, Hawks, for not waiting for my birthday to start your little winning streak. We getting back in the mix of things right now. Man, we got NFL picks, NCAA picks and recaps. I got my boys, Red and Coach. We're missing our 2 guest stars. Shell been on money this week, but that's okay. The original 3, the original trio, gonna keep it going. Episode 214, we about to start it right now. Rivalry week, baby. Woo! Rev, unmute your mic, boy. Unmute your mic, Rev.
Gotcha. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Red is coming to you live from the ATL. Rev is coming to you live from Detroit, Michigan, where his daughter stays. And Coach is coming to you live from Mississippi. M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I. Mississippi, and we're coming to you with real
sports the egg bowl,
because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes, and we can truly say that since Shelby's not on today, who have what?
Real sports
knowledge.
Real sports knowledge.
Boys, Rev, and Coach for episode 214 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And now we're going to turn our numbers attention to the Mississippian himself, Coach Patrick Thomas. What you got for us, Coach?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. It's a lovely day in the neighborhood. We're here. 214 goes to a man. He's a while back, but he's not that far back. He's a 2-time offensive player of the year. He led the league in touchdowns, his AFC in touchdown 2 years. And while he's doing that, he made a Super Bowl, but that was it for him. He wore number 14, and we're talking about Mr. Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts for episode 214.
All right, Dan Fouts, you just made it in our lifetime. You were on the edge of when me and Red were born with Dan Fouts.
Dan Fouts, they got it. The Matt Ryan Slurpers love comparing him to.
All right. How you gentlemen enjoy your Thanksgiving?
Okay.
Cool.
Good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I actually ate a little bit this year.
Well, that's good. That's good. And Coach, we know you got some good Mississippi cooking.
Yes, sir. Rev, did Bean partake of the delicious food I saw on that table?
Nah, Bean, that's my daughter's dog. He did not partake in the wonderful food ministry that was cooked up by my mother, Sister Sylvia Harris, and my daughter, but he was waiting for the crumbs to fall off the table. That's for sure. All right, let's see who's checking in as we welcome Revenite Nation, and we hope that everybody in Revenite Nation had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving Day cooks, Sister Sylvia Harris, good morning to you. The president is in the building. And what's going on, brother, Mr. President? And hopefully the VP is in the building. I believe he's in. The president has given him his orders to slam down the gavel, and he has slammed it. And therefore, the Red and Rev Sports Show has officially begun. And as the VP said, let's get it. We're going to get it. What's going on? And good morning to you, Brother Scott. What's going on, Brother John? Let's get it. Joe Black, representing from Jacksonville. What's going on to you, sir? Vincent said Dan Fouts may have possibly been the end of the letter.
Here you go.
Oh, what?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
It's cranking it up already. The president said check it in from the Sloth Dodgeball Tournament in Dodge City, Kansas. All right, let's stay warm at Dodge City, Mr. President.
The Sloth
Dodgeball. Good morning to you, Sister Ellie Vaughn Williams. Good morning to you. Glad to have you back. And happy belated Thanksgiving. I pray, and we all pray that everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving with family and friends and all of that good stuff. All right. Yes. And we're glad that Red's mother is back home, and he's having to attend to her from time to time. So if you see him get up and things of that nature, that may be what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
just steps out of here. I ain't gonna leave you go far.
man. We just didn't want the empty seat on the
Oh no, yeah.
side.
She right here in the room. I just need to peek my head in. And when I get into my dope cup, I want to have a clear mind when I'm ready to start wilding out.
And I was probably played with Steve DeBerg.
Yeah.
And then
Steve the Bird, that old coot that got a win for us in our '98 season when Chris Chandler went down. Boy, was that a magical season.
and
Those are the good old Falcon days, real.
Brother Scott, man, glad that you out of the ICU, man.
Oh yeah, praise the Lord, Scott. Yeah, he's dealing. That's my guy. He's dealing with a terminal illness right now, and each day we have him is a blessing. So, Scott, God bless you, man.
All right, man. Well, Scott, you'll definitely be in my prayers, and I'm so glad that you're out of ICU, and we pray for your healing and recovery. All right. And Vincent Woodruff sending up prayers for Mama Red, and y'all keep on sending up those
Vincent.
prayers.
Thank you, Vincent. Much love, brother.
And he's sending up prayers for Brother Scott as well. So this is wonderful when we got even Revenite Nation keeping one another in prayer. That's an awesome thing. All right, gentlemen, let's jump right into it. As Red alluded to, our two contributors are not with us on today. We see that they are not true ride or die sports talk show hosts. They don't realize we work on holiday weekends as well, but we're gonna have to talk about them later on. But nevertheless, all jokes aside, we're glad that at least they sent their picks in.
I'm glad.
We'll give them credit for that. All right, Dope, Nope, and Co. We'll start with you, Red. Normally we start with Coach. I feel like you got your red. You look like you got a good dope for us. We know you probably got 4 choices. We just need your best one. All right. What are you doping on this morning?
Yeah, no, just really 2 choices. And since the Hawks are kind of obvious, I'm going to go with my number 1 choice. Tony Humphreys. I'm going to introduce you to a guy, Tony Humphreys, a star athlete in the New York area. This is my dope moment for the week. He transferred from Iona Prep High School after the assistant athletic director made a racist remark suggesting that his star athlete can only run fast because he's used to running fast from the police. Well, the students at Iona Prep staged a walkout, and that assistant athletic director has resigned. Tony Humphreys has went to another school, a public school in the New York area or Connecticut area. But I want to say, dope moment for those students for staging a walkout in honor of Tony Humphreys, and for Tony Humphreys to resign or transfer from that school, and dope for that school for forcing that guy, the athletic director, to resign or fire. But all is well. Thank you, guys.
All right, Coach, what are you doping on?
My dope moment goes to the Dayton Flyers, who had a heck of a game against Kansas yesterday. And in the end, a guy who hadn't hit a basket all day hits the winning shot to help Dayton upset Kansas. And it just looked like March Madness had already started. It was a great moment. And Dickie V, God bless him, he's recovering from a cancer issue, just lost it. So that was good for him, and it was good for the sport. So we're already in March Madness, Dayton Flyers.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
All right. And I'm going to stay in the same NCAA college basketball vein. Big ups. And my dope moment goes to Rick Pitino and his Iona basketball team being the first team in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference history to beat an AP top 10 team after they upset Alabama 72-68. Prior to that, teams in the MAC conference had gone 0-119 against AP top 10 teams. And Rick Pitino, everybody knows him from Kentucky and Louisville and Providence and with the New York Knicks, and unfortunately his bad time in Boston. But nevertheless, we know he's been around both in the pros and college. He still knows how to coach, even though he's had his share of indiscretions. He pulls off a big W for Iona, making MAC conference history. So big ups to you, Rick Pitino.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
All right, Coach, jump in there with your note moment.
My note moment goes to one Aaron Rodgers, who decided to take us to podiatry school by showing us his feet, which we didn't need a visual of, but I guess he said, I'm going to show him anyway. So he decided to tell the media, I'm finna show y'all my feet. They're not COVID feet. It's just a broken toe. But, Aaron, we didn't need to see that.
Oh, come on!
All right. And this note is a similar note that I had a few weeks ago once the college basketball season started. I am noping on the season starting once again too early. We just missed an epic battle against Duke and Gonzaga on last night. That was a great game. Then there was a great college women's game. You had South Carolina who took down UConn. All of these games need to be happening in December where there'll be more eyes on the games. And now all of this stuff is being clouded. It's being clouded by college football games and NFL games, NCAA. You can hold off NCAA basketball for at least one more month because you all missed a great prelude of games that will get people excited before March Madness happens. So I am noping on the season started entirely too early once again.
Didn't even know these games were going on, man. They just big games, and half the folks don't even know about them. I'm worried about college football and NFL and NBA.
That Duke and Gonzaga game was classic.
It was classic, man. I stayed up and watched that game. It was a classic. Definitely classic. We'll talk a little bit more about it later on. But, Red, what's your note moment?
My note moment goes to Zion Williamson, looking like Fat Albert in that Mountain Dew commercial with Zach LaVine. Dude, I thought that was one of Zach LaVine's security people, man, sitting on that sofa with him. Dude, you are fat, man. Fat. Man, I'm sorry. I do not think Zion is gonna make it, man. Because we got to go through this every offseason, dude. Every offseason, you're gonna start peaking out, and then when the season about to start, you're gonna try to get in shape, try to get yourself ready for an NBA season after you don't spend all offseason at Pizza Hut, Domino's, little spicy food places in New Orleans, wherever you can go get something to eat. You don't went there, man. Man, I didn't think you had it that bad, dude. You really got it bad. No, you don't need to come to Atlanta, man, because you're going to be looking worse than Fat Al, but you come down here, dude. It's too many places to eat. I don't know what we're going to do about Zion. Oops, sorry. I don't know what we're going to do about Zion Williamson, man, but that boy has got to get his weight under control because he's about to be closer to Greg Oden, #1 bust, than he is to any type of superstar NBA player. Zion, boy, get your weight under control, man. You looking worse than Zebo over there, man. How big you are, man. You are fat, dude. Fat, and that ain't good.
B&B, beignets and boudin.
Yeah, man. New Orleans is not the best place to be trying to diet. That's for sure.
No, you need to go somewhere where it's got a lot of organic food, or maybe it ain't that much to eat or something, man. Because, man, that dude don't blew up. Did y'all see that commercial? Y'all know the commercial I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, my God, that dude. I mean, and he's sitting there playing NBA Live, and the guy that's supposed to be him on NBA or NBA 2K, smaller than him. He didn't even look like the same guy. It's like, he looked like his little brother playing. He like you playing with your little brother on PlayStation, and you the big brother. Dude, he definitely got a weight problem. And he was honest about it, though. But, man, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, his whole face got big. His whole, it's like.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, let me move on.
With it.
I am coping. My cope moment goes with the Atlanta Falcons offense. 3 points in 2 weeks. And we still got people blaming the Atlanta Falcons defense for the team's debacle. I think we need to look no further than looking at the quarterback who is the orchestrator of this anemic offense. 3 points in 2 weeks, and we have victories over the anemic New York Jets, New York Giants, as well as a backup quarterback Saints-led team, along with who was the other slum team we beat?
Dolphins.
The Dolphins. So
Yes.
that's my Colt moment, and the sooner we can get away from this number 2 debacle, the better we can start talking about rebuilding in Atlanta. So that's all I got. And for the Falcons offense, I got booze for you. Trash. All right, Red, what are you coping on?
Oh, fellas, what am I coping on? I'm coping on, once again, Alvin Gentry. Yep, that's right. Good old Alvin Gentry, man. Once again, one coach is fired, and Alvin is the interim coach. Once again, Alvin is tasked with turning another sorry old team into a respectable contending team. And once that team has reached respectability, and once that team has reached contending status, guess what happens to Alvin Gentry? You are out, fired, dispatched, gotten rid of, discarded once again. And then the cycle starts all over again. Alvin Gentry gets a top assistant coach job. The head coach is fired. Alvin Gentry is the replacement. And when the team starts doing good, Alvin Gentry is replaced. He's doing it again in Sacramento. Sacramento been playing pretty respectable since they got rid of Luke Walton last week. Been playing competitive. We even got Marvin Bagley playing ball. That's right, Marvin Bagley, who ain't done nothing since he been drafted. Well, he was show balling last night on my Lakers, thanks to Alvin Gentry, who is probably one of the best offensive minds in the NBA. Not necessarily result of head coaching victories, but Alvin Gentry is one coach who just never gets a break. And we got to cope once again. Once the Kings start balling, playing respectable ball, Alvin Gentry will be out. And another coach, possibly a white coach, will be in to take his place and reap all the rewards of all the coaching that Alvin Gentry had to do to get his team back to respectability. Love you, Alvin, but we just seen this cycle over and over again. We know how it don't end.
All right, Coach, what are you coping on?
My coat moment goes to Tre'Davious White and the Buffalo Bills. That young man, I kind of feel bad for him, and I know he feels bad because he has to cope with not playing anymore, and he's from Louisiana. And for him to get hurt early in that game in front of his friends and family all were there was kind of a sad moment. It kind of took him under. He broke down crying, knowing his season was over. So he'll have to cope with being out, and the Bills will have to cope with that huge hole in their secondary. So my cope moment goes to both of them.
All right. We have Dope Note and Coke, and now we're going to turn it over to Revenite Nation, see what they are doping and coping on. And the president says, Dope, Mel Tucker getting that bag. He definitely got the white coach treatment. Hadn't won anything yet and got 10 years. A 10-year extension to head coach at Michigan State. And while we're at black coaches doing what appears to be white coach things, doggone James Franklin got 10-year extension. So these black coaches getting that bag.
Must be some of that Marvin Lewis magic.
Hey, Real. Hey, Real. They tell me that 2 boosters, now listen to this, 2 boosters, not the university, are paying Mel Tucker's salary.
Wow.
Two boosters came out of their pockets and say, give him the contract, we'll pay it. I said, whoa.
Whoa, man. That's some big money, man. Vincent Woodruff, Dope, 4 PIs for Dallas. Y'all remind us every day that y'all are them girls. How about them cowgirls? And it just for further emphasis, the Cowboys is, and Vincent refers to them as the Cowgirls. They went 1-3 in the month of November, but we won't say what team they beat. We'll move on. Vincent Woodruff. for that one victory.
If they played the Falcons, we know which team it was.
Yeah, we know it. Vincent said, great dope. Great dub for the Flyers. Scott says his dope moment goes to that boy Jonathan Taylor, 5 touchdown game.
MVP.
I can't say dope. That doggone 5 touchdown game cost me a W in one of my fantasy leagues because I had to play against him, and he just went nuts.
MVP. Jonathan Taylor, MVP.
Yeah. Iona must have some bomb strippers in that market. Patino being Patino.
Mr. Minuteman, Patino.
Mr. President says Aaron tried to go toe to toe. Oh, my goodness. Brother Scott said, nope, my Atlanta Falcons raising my blood pressure every week. You got to be like me, Brother Scott, become an emotionalist one.
Yeah.
Better that way. Brother Vincent, Woodruff, Jerry, Massa Jones, and Mike McCarthy complaining about the refs play better. How about them Cowgirls? Yep, today and every day is Cowgirl bashing day. I see you, Mr. 49ers fan. Thomas Holcomb, nope, Isaiah Stewart, you get no street cred. Trying to sell wolf tickets while so beautiful. You watch the film, the president is on point. No doubt about it. Brother Vince said my South Carolina women's basketball team put the smack down on the Yukon Puppies. You're right, Rev. Let's get some primetime coverage for CBB in December, but we'll take it. No doubt about it. Hey, this is not I've got a song for you. Vince said Red got the Holy Ghost for a second, almost dropped this game. Zion gives new meaning to Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday.
I got a song to sing for you. It's gonna be.
The fact that I live in Wisconsin, have seen Aaron Rodgers' feet way too much. Please help.
Oh man,
Brother Thomas is coping on Falcons suck harder than a high-powered Hoover, but still have a chance for the playoffs. All right.
Yeah.
Brother Vince and the VP, I met Arbery family. They got justice, but their loved one is still gone. The wheels of justice work in the South, no less. There's no doubt. Thanks for bringing that up. He also says Falcons should sign on with Dyson vacuum products. He says, you're right, Rev. Gentry continues to prop up the league's trash teams. Sounds about right. And brother, Sister Ellie Von Williams, I'm sorry, is God trying to tell Jason?
That was a good one, Miss Williams.
That's a good one.
That was a good one, Miss Williams. Yeah.
He got fired as offensive coordinator for the New York Giants after being fired year before last as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It seems that maybe his calling is something else in this season in his life and not NFL coach. And Andrew Wyndham says, my ain'ts ain't the same. Sure not.
Nope. Not without Drew Brees, they ain't.
Who would ever
nice suit, though.
Who would ever thought they would at least want Jameis behind them?
Yeah, Krabby.
I mean, Krabby. It was about, Coach, it was about 4 boosters.
Oh, was it? Okay. I heard 2 this morning. They were talking about it on the radio.
All right. Thank y'all, Reverend Night Nation, for jumping in there. Let's go right into some NCAA. We know the rankings are out. Looking good for the Georgia Bulldogs, 11-0. They hold the number 1 seed. Ohio State coming in, jumping Alabama with their impressive victory last week against Michigan State. And they went to 10-1, and Bama struggled a little bit with Arkansas last week. That allowed Ohio State to jump Alabama and Cincinnati, yet holding on to the 4th slot. And they are looking like they will probably get in to the Final Four because their regular season is officially over. So we know that Notre Dame is creeping up from behind in the 5th.
Gosh, man.
So what are your thoughts with Georgia maintaining being number 1? From what I saw, there's a 99% chance that they will be going to the college football playoff, win or lose against Alabama in the SEC championship, because they would have only had 1 loss even if they lose to Alabama. So, Red, what are your thoughts about the ranking?
Right now, I have no complaint. Wait, is Ohio State up in there, right?
Number 2.
Number 2, Cincinnati and Bama. Okay, that's pretty much what I thought. I knew once Oregon lost and Ohio State won last week that Ohio State would sneak themselves up in there. Now the number 2 team, that means like if everything play out, Georgia would play Cincinnati first, right?
Correct.
Cool. Well, I love it. I have absolutely no complaints. And all my Bulldogs got to do is do what they need to do. You win, you win today, of course. You win next week, of course. And then you take care of Cincinnati and wait to see whatever poor soul is your opponent for the national championship. Do it that way. Play it out that way. Let all us Bulldogs fans sit back and relax. And hopefully we'll have a second national championship in the local area by first week of January. So I love how everything has played out so far. No complaints. Red is happy.
Coach, jump in there. Your thoughts about the college playoff rankings?
They seem to not want Cincinnati in there because every scenario planned for Cincinnati demise. Cincinnati still has to play Houston for the AA championship, and Houston is 11-1, so they not a scrub. Cincinnati win that one. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be in there. But all they were talking about, if Oklahoma State beat Oklahoma and beat Baylor, they may catch Cincinnati. If Notre Dame does this, they may catch Cincinnati. If Michigan beat Ohio State, they going to take Cincinnati. Why y'all mad at Cincinnati? Cincinnati has done the job. They can't help that weak schedule. But Rev, I know, and Red, this is what everybody wants to see. And it's on the table just like it is now. They want to see the Ohio State offense against the Georgia defense. That's what they want to see in the national championship, and that's what they wanted to shake out to be.
Well, I will say this. The biggest pressure out of all of this that's going on is on Kirby Smart. Officially, it's on Kirby Smart. Mm-hmm. Anything less than a championship, or as Vincent just said, a natty, would be uncivilized. Everything is set up for him. You have a double chance to make the college playoff, especially, they take care of business against Georgia Tech, which we firmly believe that they will do. And then you got Cincinnati. If you beat Alabama in the Final Four, in the SEC championship, you're looking at, you got
Alabama might fall out in the Final Four, right?
They would.
So we ain't got to worry about them.
You won't, right? So Georgia beats Alabama. Alabama's done. Auburn beats Alabama today. Alabama's probably done.
Ain't depending on no Bo Nix for anything.
So you got Georgia. If Alabama loses to Georgia, you got possibly Georgia, Ohio State, Cincinnati, and probably Notre Dame will be in the 4.
Yeah, Notre Dame probably get that last spot.
Now, Notre Dame can't jump Cincinnati as long as Cincinnati doesn't lose, because Cincinnati beat Notre Dame. So they're in the driver's seat.
I want Cincinnati to be in last place. That's who I want Georgia to play first, not Notre Dame.
Where's Notre Dame's signature win?
That's a good question.
No, they haven't had one this year.
Their signature win.
It's been a quiet year for Notre Dame.
Their signature win, they get the benefit of the doubt, is being Notre Dame, and then they would be the quasi ACC representative, because they do play like 4 or 5 ACC schools, even though officially they're not in the conference. So everything is right in front of Georgia. It's Georgia's to lose. And for Kirby Smart, things will turn on his head for him if they don't win the championship this year.
That seat gonna be smoking hot. You got to do it this year, Kirby. Man, I tell you, your seat gonna be so hot next season, man. I don't even think a blizzard gonna warm that thing up.
And the good thing for the Georgia Bulldogs, they say their stud wide receiver Pickens may be coming back today.
That's what I heard. I don't think he need to come back today, though.
Blaylock already played a little bit last week.
He did.
He played special teams and then played some snaps when the game was out of hand against the Charleston school from last
I
week.
never expect anything from Mookie's son. He ain't really, like I say, if he give us anything, it'll be extra. I appreciate it. I just don't expect much. Pickens can help us out, but how healthy is he? Coming back from a torn ACL, are we just going to depend on him? You know what I mean? But I hope, like I say, anything our receivers can give us, because really, it really just been our running backs and tight ends this year, to be honest with you.
Okay. No, and like
Okay,
they said, no,
what's
they
up,
play
Coach?
only two teams, two ranked teams, Whiskey and Cincinnati. They beat Whiskey. Whiskey 18 now, but it's scared of Florida State, Toledo, Purdue, Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, Cincinnati, USC, North Carolina, Navy, Virginia, Georgia Tech, Stanford. You got to be kidding me! And they're gonna keep them up there.
But
Wow.
what they're benefiting from is this.
But tell us their whole record, Coach.
They're benefiting from the fact that the ACC collectively is down.
Yeah.
They're benefiting from the Pac-12 being down. Oregon did themselves no favors by losing a second game. So you got the Pac-12 out of
Utah.
there. You got the ACC. Besides Notre Dame being a quasi ACC member, they're out of there. So now Notre Dame is there by default because nobody else has stepped up. And if Alabama wins out, Alabama, they will be in the the Final Four with Georgia, and the SEC will get two teams.
Yep.
That's just how the cookies crumbling this year. What's going on, Amani? Safe travels to you, brother.
What's up, dog?
Be safe, Amani.
All right. We're not going to prolong it. We're going to go right into these NCAA picks because I know a lot of us would like to go and make sure we're in front of a TV by the time the Ohio State-Michigan game comes on, because that is the biggest game that will be going on this week. But before we make our predictions, let's see what our standings look like. And I know Red would have loved for Shelby to be on the show once he sees these standings.
Don't worry, she will see him eventually.
Last week, my brothers, we see that Red went 5-2. He lost Wake Forest, and he also lost
Iowa State.
Yep. Iowa State. And then Rev went 6-1, lost to Oregon. Who would have thought that? But Red did pick Utah. That was one of his upset specials that he picked. Coach, he went 5-2, lost Wake Forest and Oregon. As you all can see, I was the only one who got the Clemson over Wake Forest, right?
Yeah,
Shelby went 4-3, lost Michigan State, Wake Forest, and Oregon. I guess she was happy about Mel Tucker's contract extension and thought he was going to shoot us some money. So that's why she tried to get upset, and she got upset big time. They got blasted. And Armani went 5-2. He lost Wake Forest and Oregon as well. So where does that lead us? Coach in first place by 1.
Yes, sir.
55-27 in first place over Red, who is in second place, 1 game behind. Rev and Armani are 2 games behind and holding up the rear. Red's favorite person on the Eminem, I'm talking about Eminem Prayer, on the Red and Rev Sports Show is Shelby, 52-30. How have the mighty fallen? Because she was cheering after week 2 and 3 because she was in first place, and we tried to warn it's a marathon and not a sprint. So that's where we are in our rankings, and we have quite a few games to choose on today, and we'll crank up some picking music in just a moment. Okay. Armani's giving us a preview of one of his picks, and maybe he didn't send in his picks, so that's why he's doing picks right now. If Armani, let's see. Okay, Armani's sending his picks. It might as well go ahead on and send in your pro picks while you're at it, Armani. That would be great, sir. Armani, the neighborhood OG, say never bet on any money that you will not miss. You about to lose that to Nero. All right.
What the neighborhood OG says, never bet a little way you would not miss.
Yeah. All right. And then Red nipping at coach's heels. Go ahead, Redrick. And
Hey, I ain't never won a college trophy now, but it's gonna take a lot because coach don't usually make bad picks. So,
well, what's up,
not
brother?
in college anyway.
One of my favorite deacons tuning in from Huntsville, Alabama. Glad to see you tuning in along with your lovely wife, Sister Jackie. God bless you. Thanks, Armani, for getting me. I'll be on the lookout for those picks. All right, gentlemen, let's get ready to do some picking. And
whatever coach pick, I'll be picking.
Get ready, fan.
I'm not falling far. I'm gonna stay right there. I ain't gonna be no more than one game back. Not for when that playoffs start.
I'm gonna throw you a monkey wrench. Get ready.
All right, fans, B, feel free to put your picks down alongside us. We're gonna go with the first game, Clemson versus North Carolina. Coach, we're going to start with you, sir. Who you got?
You mean who we got?
South Carolina can't see straight. Yeah, that's going to be Clemson easy. South Carolina is a joke.
Coach has South Carolina. So Red has South Carolina as
no.
I'm joking.
That hurt my soul.
He ain't picking on South Carolina, man.
All right, so Coach has Clemson. Red, you got Clemson?
Yes, sir. I got Clemson.
Armani has Clemson, and I have Clemson. So that makes it unanimous. Clemson across the board. No upset specials for South Carolina.
No way.
Wake Forest coming off a loss last week to the Clemson Tigers. They go into Massachusetts and play the Boston College Eagles. Red, you on your own because Coach will be picking after you this time. So who you got?
I'm pretty sure he'll be with me. We both pick. Well, he call them weak Forest. I call them West Coast Wake, baby. But they taking care of Boston. They're going to take old Matty Ice old team down. Them boys can score. The defense ain't all that, but they can score more points than Boston College. I'm taking Wake on the road. Come on, Coach. I know you're taking Wake Forest, weak Forest too.
And I am definitely, I'm going to go with Armani first. Armani is rolling with Wake Forest as well. I am rolling with Wake Forest. So we're going to make this thing a unanimous across the board. Coach, who you got, man?
Wake Forest. I wish I could go with Boston, but Boston College is not going to hold them, so I go with Wake Forest.
Yeah, it's too close in the standings to be taking risks that you're not sure.
You learn it, real. That's how you do it. You get too close, can't take no more risks.
All right, here we go. We got Ed Orgeron, possibly his last game coaching LSU. Texas A&M goes into LSU for an SEC matchup. Armani is rolling with Texas A&M. I'm going with Texas A&M to bounce back after losing 2 games this year, and I think they're not going to make it special for Ed Orgeron. Coach, who you rolling with?
This is my last game, so I'm unfortunately I'm going to have to go out at a loss. I'm going with Texas A&M.
All right, Coach / AKA Ed Orgeron says he's going against his own team. Red, are you joining Coach Orgeron?
No, I'm not joining Coach Orgeron. Joining Coach with the Texas A&M pick.
All right, so it's Texas A&M across the board. Wisconsin, Minnesota's our next game.
Whiskey.
No, I'm going with this one.
You don't want to drink the whiskey.
Yeah.
It is on me, and I am going to go with it's a tough one. I'm going to go with Wisconsin, even though they made me lose a few games. Normally, I would go with the home team, but Minnesota, they haven't done much this year as much as they've done in years past. So I'm going to roll with the Wisconsin Badgers. Seems like they have gotten their act together. Coach, who you rolling with?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to drink the whiskey. I'm going with Wisconsin.
All right, seems like we're all in safe mode right now. Red, who you rolling with?
You know I ain't messing with Minnesota after they disappointed me 2 seasons ago. I still ain't forgot that, and I ain't gonna ever forget it. They cost me my first doggone college championship. They ain't finna cost me my second. So no, I'm going with whiskey too. Badgers, let's go Badgers.
All right, and Armani's going with the Badgers as well. Maybe we'll get some movement right here. Michigan State versus Penn State. Penn State at home. Coach, it's on you. Who you rolling with?
This is going to be tougher than I thought because they got a report out that Michigan State is battling the flu virus. And a lot of their players out. So that's going to make this one more interesting than I thought it was going to be. And I don't know how Mel Tucker's going to act. He's already signed his contract, so our wins and losses that important anymore. So, but still, James Franklin, you betrayed me, so I can't go with you. I'm going to Michigan State.
And you want to be a little bit clear on why you said that he betrayed you? Please tell the fans.
He's supposed to come to USC. We had already discussed that in our little conference last week. But you decided to sign with Penn State. So you suffer with Penn State, James Franklin. You'll never win a national title there. You suffer with them.
Wow. And I saw on some blogs, Ohio State fans are excited that James Franklin signed that extension because they feel that's 10 more years of Penn State being mediocre.
Yep, that's it.
All right, Red, who you got, man?
I can't roll with Franklin. I got to roll with Mel Tucker. After getting blasted last week, I want to think he'll come back this week and show why he deserved that big-time contract. Come on, buddy. Come on, Mel. Show us why you earned that contract this week. Don't let nervous James cost you another loss. I'm taking Michigan State. I thought Coach was going to take Penn State.
No.
All right, I'm rolling with Penn State.
Yep.
Since I'm 2 games behind, not 1 games behind, I got to get some traction somewhere.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, so we understand, Real.
Penn State is at home, so I'm going to roll with Penn State, and Armani is rolling with Michigan State. Please forgive me. I have not been given the sports-based picks, and she has sent those picks. So let me just start back real quickly. Well, I'll tell everybody her pick on this one. She's going with Michigan State as well. Michigan State as well. Let me back up real quickly and give everybody her picks. So for this game, Clemson versus South Carolina, she's rolling with Clemson. Wake Forest and Boston College, she's going with Wake Forest. Texas A&M and LSU, she's going with Texas A&M. Wisconsin versus Minnesota, she is going with Wisconsin as well. So we are up to speed with the sports-based pick. Now we go into – yes, sir.
What's your mascot for Morehouse?
Tigers.
See, that's what you are. You that tiger that be waiting in the woods hiding, and then you come up out of nowhere and pounce on somebody. I know what you're doing. You make the opposite pick sliding in there. You stay a couple games behind. Then all of a sudden, here you come. I'm going to stop that this year, God dog it.
I play chess while y'all playing checkers. That's all.
Okay. We're playing Chinese checkers right now.
Here we go. Oregon against Oregon State. Oregon is at home coming off that big debacle where they lost against Utah last week. The president, by the way, the president is rolling with Penn State.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir. 2 brothers coaching against one another, going with Happy Valley on this one. Brother Bay, all right, Reverend Nation is jumping with Rev. No doubt, Reverend had to roll the dice to get some upset a little bit. Coach playing back in. All right, Rev, it's on you, man. Oregon State, who you got, man?
Well, this time, I'm taking Oregon at home, not Utah. Oregon State, now, they are very capable of winning this game. I mean, I would even anybody taking them for an upset, you got a good chance to win. But I'm taking the home team, Oregon. Anybody want to take Oregon State? Come on, coach. You know you want to take Oregon State.
They got a volleyball game or
No,
tennis.
Armani wanted
Okay,
to
well,
hold off on making this pick because he didn't choose it. So we got to hope that he gets back in here before that game is played because he
you
didn't
got the
choose.
3:30. You got the 3:30 of money. I know
Yeah.
you're gonna pick Oregon.
All right, I'm going with Oregon as well. Coming off a loss, playing at home. I don't trust Oregon State enough to be picking an upset. So I'm going to go with Oregon. Sports Bay is going with Oregon. Coach, it's on you. Who you got?
man, Oregon State. They always talk about in a rivalry game. It's gonna be close, man. Oregon gonna beat the anti-lock breaks off Oregon State. Probably by
Uh,
about 30.
all right. Armani. Okay, and Armani's going with Oregon as well. So it's Oregon
No
across the
movement.
board. Next game. Oh, we just did that one. I'm sorry. My bad. I forgot to put this one as a ticker. And it's an SEC matchup, Alabama against Auburn.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I would have gotten a bit risky, especially if Auburn were playing to go into the SEC championship, but they choke away a lead that they had against Mississippi State at home. So I can't trust them, especially with the standings being so close. So I am going with Alabama to go into Auburn and beat the brakes off them. So I got Auburn. Armani, of course, has Alabama, and the Sports Bay has Alabama as well. Coach, who you rolling with, sir?
Man, can't nobody beat Alabama but Georgia. Please. Auburn ain't gonna beat nobody. Bye. Yeah, Alabama.
Alabama and red. That means you're rolling with Alabama as well.
Yeah, Auburn ain't gonna beat nobody, and they haven't beat nobody since before Halloween. 3 straight losses. Last win, October 30th. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Alabama.
Auburn's going to upset Alabama 45 to -7. Oh, my good roll tide.
Dog.
And then we got Scott saying he got the upset special.
Scott, that's your illness talking right there, baby.
Golly.
Goodness gracious.
Nah, but you know, Scott know it ain't finna be no upset. I don't know why you talking. You know Bama finna get them, but I like your persistence at picking your boys.
All right, Coach, I'm going to give you a little booster. Shelby's going with Oklahoma State. Armani is going with Oklahoma. So who are you going to go with? Armani and his Oklahoma pick, or the Sports Bay and her Oklahoma State pick?
Well, Oklahoma doesn't have anything to lose because their chance at the national championship are over. They got to do a whole down. Somebody said if they beat Baylor and win this game, they got an outside champ. It's way outside. But they hate Oklahoma State. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma.
All right. So that means, Red, you going with Oklahoma too? No.
Here we go.
All right. We may have a tie.
I guess it's going to be the game to decide the trophy because I'm picking Old Bully.
The coach is only up 2 games on me. So remember, we got more games to play. So
okay.
Remember,
I'm picking the mullet in this one.
Really? Why?
I think, they've been playing more consistently better ball than Oklahoma this year. If you want to be real about it, Oklahoma, they really been inconsistent. They don't have QB problems all year long. And like I say, they got me a few weeks ago, but like I say, they even lost to Baylor a few weeks ago when I chose them. Oklahoma State been way more consistent and been more consistent against better teams. Their defense is better. I'm going with the better team, and the better team is playing at home too. So Oklahoma State, they playing at Stillwater. They playing in T-Bone. What's that old rich guy that used to be their booster? T-Bone, whatever. He got that big
T-Boone
yeah,
Pickens.
T-Boone. They playing in his stadium, and I'm taking T-Boone up on the T-Boone Stadium. I'm taking the Oklahoma State. Roll with T-Boone boys. Come on, Red. You know you want to mess with me. Come on and go Oklahoma State with.
You made a compelling argument, man.
I know it's true. Oklahoma State been a better team this year.
You definitely made a compelling
There you
argument.
go, T-Bone Pickens. Thanks, Vince.
Man.
That's right. I'm 41. We're grown, baby.
This tough, man. I don't like mullets. I don't trust guys who wear mullets. So
Oklahoma.
I've already gone on the limb with Penn State. I don't trust a mullet. I'm gonna go Oklahoma as well. I'm going with Coach with Oklahoma.
Now, who said which one? Armani or Shelby went Oklahoma State?
Shelby went Oklahoma State. Armani went Oklahoma.
Oh God, me and Shelby.
Yep, red in his boot, sports boot, affectionately known as the Sports Bay. They have picked.
Well, I hope she give me some good luck, man.
No doubt about it, Oklahoma does have the better QB.
What'd you say, Coach?
Oklahoma State coach Mike Gundy has a 2-14 record against Oklahoma. You stay with him and hang on. All right?
Well, I can't change it now, so I'm stuck. Yeah.
Here we go.
Don't worry. I'll get you in. I ain't gonna fall that far back. I'll get you in the playoffs.
Here we go. Ohio State, Michigan. This game is what everybody in Michigan is looking forward to. I'm in Michigan right now. I'll be going to a watch party for the game at my cousin's right after the show. So people are excited. The game is about to kick off in just a moment. So Red, it's on you, man. Michigan, led by Khaki Pants, Ohio State. Who you got?
You know good well I ain't messing with no Khaki Pants and no big game like this. Ohio State and what's the coach name? Coach Day, right? Ryan Day?
Ryan Day.
Yeah. That's right. Coach Day and CJ Stroud all day, baby. Ohio State.
All right, Red is going with Ohio State. Armani is going with Khaki Pants. Shelby is going with Ohio State. As much as I want to go with Khaki Pants, I can't do it. Ohio State is the more dominant team. Ohio State has much more to play for. Even though Michigan could jump in there with a W against Ohio State, they could jump into the Final Four, jump Cincinnati and so forth and so on. But I just can't see it, man. Ohio State's offense is just too dominant. So he said terminal illness.
Scott, you picking Michigan again, man? Wow. Your medicine not working, buddy.
I'm gonna go with Ohio State, and Armani's going with Michigan, Sports Bay, Ohio State. Coach, who you got, man?
I'm gonna say it like the elephant told the guy told this guy that tried to stand in front of him and stop him, and the elephant told him, "Didn't you see what I just do to him?" I'm trying to see if anybody watched that game last night with last week when CJ Stroud destroyed Michigan State, who beat Michigan. Are they not seeing? Did they not see what he did? 50 plus points. Michigan is going to be interesting in the first quarter. That's all I can say for Michigan. It's going to be interesting in the first quarter. Then the party going to be over.
All right, so Monty's hanging out on a limb by himself and is going with Michigan.
After he complained about him so much, and you still supporting him. Yeah, now he going to come on next week talking about, why did I go with Khaki Pants? Oh, Khaki Pants let me down again. Oh, why did I pick Khaki Pants? Yeah, why did you, Armani? Why? Because we have no idea.
No doubt about it. All right, Coach, it is on you, brother. We got to get ready for this HBCU support. We know, report rather. We do have HBCU support, and we're going to jump right in here and get some.
I thought all that championships was over with.
Nah, man. So we're going to put a little neck action on this. Grambling plays Southern in the Bayou Classic. So I'm going to give a little love to Grambling's band this week. Let's enjoy this real quickly.
Not talking out the side of your neck. Oh, my goodness. They got it.
They can't bounce on the
boy. You got gone.
Boy, y'all remember that one, boy.
Yeah. Tuskegee got rolled by Alabama State the other day. Lord have mercy.
But the band got new uniforms.
All right, Coach. It's on you, brother. Give us our report. HBCU report.
Here we go, everybody. Good afternoon. Here is your HBCU report for this week. We got some good games coming up. As you can see, Alabama State took the gi out of Tuskegee, 43-9. First game, we got Mississippi Valley State against Prairie View. Prairie View is going to the SWAC championship next week. But before they go, I think my team, Mississippi Valley, going to rough them up a little bit. So Coach Prime, Coach Sanders, whatever your name is, you should thank us for roughing them up for y'all so y'all can win the SWAC championship. The Florida A&M is going to the FCS playoffs, which I commend them for. They're playing Southeast Louisiana. I hope Florida A&M can go in there and come out with a victory and represent the SWAC. And finally, the game that they all talk about all the time, the Bayou Classic, Grambling against Southern. This one is going to sell out, and this one is going to be a wild. Even though neither team is doing quite well, this is always a bloodbath. So we're going to see who comes out of that one. All right, moving on. We're going to the MEAC. There are no games in the MEAC, but here are the standings, and the team that's representing the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl in January is the South Carolina State Bulldogs, who finished the season 6-5, but won the MEAC championship. So they're going to represent in the Celebration Bowl against the SWAC coming up later on in January or either the end of this year sometime. I forgot which one it is. All right. Now, in CIAA, we got the second round of the Division II playoffs. Bowie State is playing one of my former co-worker schools. He used to play for him at linebacker, Newberry. That should be a good old-fashioned battle. I don't know who's going to come out of that one, but I know it's going to be close. That's a good second round of the Division II playoffs. And I believe that is all, y'all. See you at the games.
Thank you, Coach, for laying out the HBCU report for us. And as we continue on with the Red and Red Sports Show, it is officially halftime of the Red and Red Sports Show. Don't go too far. We're going to jump right in to our NFL picks. Since Red got to do some work today, we're going to jump right into those NFL picks. We'll be right back for the second half, or with the second half of the Red and Red Sports Show. We'll be right back. And we are back with the second half of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We're going to be coming right in with those NFL picks in just a moment. Vincent Woodruff says that Graham the Southern halftime show is going to be fire. And Vincent showing the Rattlers of FAMU some love. Way to go, Bulldogs. Coach Pugh, South Carolina State Bulldogs. And Vincent says, Red, turn off your mic when you head to the toilet. Thank you very much. What'd you say? What'd you say, Red?
So y'all heard something?
Nah, he just going back once he saw you leave your post right before.
Oh, okay. Don't worry, Vincent.
Georgia's up 21-0.
The game ain't even started. No, man. It's just 12:03, man. It's just 12:03. Yeah, it's just 12:03.
I mean, Kelly, they finna really get clowned, even though they're going to get clowned.
We're going to jump into these NFL predictions. Let's see
Appreciate y'all, you know. I don't like to do them early, too, but, you know.
Let's look at the standings real quickly and see what happened last week.
I'm afraid to look.
Last week was a interesting week for everybody. Nobody really balled out, per se, with the picks. Red went 3-5 along with Coach and Shelby, the Sports Bay, and Rev and Armani held it down, going 500, 4-4. Armani is still comfortably in the lead right now. He has a 3-game lead over Coach going into week 12. We know that some games went down this past week, and I think actually Coach gained a game on Armani. So right now the lead is only 2 officially, but since we're talking about last week, it is officially still 3. Shelby is 5 games behind Armani. The good Reverend is 8 games behind, and Red is getting his Longhorn steak money ready, being 14 games behind.
Oh, my God.
And 6 games behind me. All right, so Red, we get that overtime while you can, because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, it look like I'm gonna need it.
You're definitely gonna need it to pay this
meal.
Man. So we look forward to you blessing us with your Longhorns money.
It might be the next time I eat a steak.
Yeah, it's looking rough for you, man. It's looking rough for you. All right, let's see what we.
The fact that I gotta pay for Shelby food, she ain't gonna never let me live that down. I bought her a steak.
Oh my goodness. The president said if Wheat Street Asphalt football team in 92 I used to play on that team in the back parking lot at Wheat Street Baptist Church with my dad.
Not the asphalt football team.
Yeah, man. We used to play 2-hand touch, man. Yeah, man. Those were some good times back during those years. All right, man. Let's jump into it. Let's see if Rick can close the gap some way, somehow.
Somehow.
Are you going to go for broke, or are you going to kind of slow walk this thing?
Oh, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm going to just go for broke. Yeah.
Well, you got 6 weeks
I'm
left.
Already. Yeah.
Well, you got
how many
playoffs?
6 weeks.
6 weeks in the playoffs, man. So
true. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can catch Rev. See if me and Rev can double team on this Longhorn bill again. But if Coach ain't got to worry about paying for nothing. Shelby ain't like she got to worry about paying for nothing. They too far ahead.
Never know.
And Rev ain't worried about paying for nothing either. That's what I'm talking about.
And you even got 6 games. Y'all will have to have like 2 or 3 bad weeks, and I have to have a good week. But we'll see. I ain't gonna give up. I'm gonna still make some good picks.
Since Coach is leading out of those of us who are on the air, let's see. We'll start with him. Panthers versus Dolphins in Miami. Miami's playing some good football, Coach. Who you got?
Man, Panthers, please. Dolphins, they hanging on to Brian Flores' job. Panthers.
All right. Red, just save your money up. And Kelly is in the house.
That's the plan.
Kelly, glad to have you.
Kelly, coming on the day Georgia Tech finna be really exposed.
Uh-oh.
Red, who you got, man?
Cam, Panthers.
All right, and I'm going to roll with the Panthers as well. And we got Sports Bay got the Panthers, and Amani is rolling with the Panthers as well. On to the next game. Red, it's on you. Chargers versus Broncos. This game is in Denver. So please keep that in mind when you make your picks. Who you got, Red?
My bad. I'm keeping it in mind, and I'm still taking the Chargers. Justin Herbert, as we wind it down to crunch time now. If you're trying to make the playoffs, can't be losing games you shouldn't lose. Justin Herbert, you want to make the playoffs, you got to beat the Broncos. Even in Denver, you got to beat the Broncos. You're a better quarterback than Teddy and Drew Lock. Chargers, you got the advantage. You got to win this game. I'm taking the Chargers.
All right, I'm going to roll with the Chargers pick as well. Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. No need for me to go on a limb for that one. The Sports Bay is going with the Chargers. Amani's going with the Chargers as well. Coach, who you got?
Oh, man, Chargers. I hate to pick them, but in this game, Broncos not doing too well, so I'm going to go with the Chargers.
All right, so it's unanimous with the Chargers. On to the next one. Superchargers for the win. Okay. All right, Brother K. Next game. Titans versus Patriots. This game is in New England. All right, the Patriots defense has been beating up on teams, embarrassing teams. Just ask the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan how tough that defense is. They'll let you know. I'm rolling with the Patriots for another W against a Derrick Henry-less Tennessee Titans team. Armani is going with the Patriots, and the Sports Bay is going with the Patriots as well. Coach, are you joining the Patriot bandwagon?
Who does Ryan Tannehill have to throw to?
Well, Julio is hurt once again, and A.J. Brown is out once again.
Patriots.
All right, and Red?
It's unanimous.
It is unanimous. He's going with the Patriots as well. On to the next game. The Seattle Seahawks, who have been struggling, will go into Washington playing a Monday night football game. This one is back on you, Coach. Who are you rolling with?
Woo! This one is if there's a such thing as flipping a coin, this is that kind of game right here. I think it's going to be the. I pick the Seahawks to come out as a steal one for Washington.
All right, Red. Who you rolling with?
I got Washington. Seattle. I think it's over with for Carroll and Wilson. I think their era is done. Sierra's husband been having a chance to earn some goodies the past 2 weeks, and he ain't done nada. So Sierra's magic obviously ain't working. Washington, they got a little momentum going in. They still got something to play for. Seattle, they pretty much out of the playoff race. I'm going for the team that got more to play for and at home, Washington.
I'm going to roll with you, Red. I'm going to go with the Washington football team as well. I'm still impressed by the way they took down the Tampa Bay Bucks last week after that great performance on defense. The one downfall is Chase Young is not going to be playing. So that may hurt the defense a little bit, but the Washington football team, they've been doing some work. So I'm going to roll with them. Armani is rolling with the Seahawks, and the Sports Bay is going with the Seahawks as well.
All right, I'm digging the music.
Huh?
I'm digging the music.
Glad you're digging. Here we go on to the next game. The Vikings against the 49ers. The Vikings and 49ers are coming off impressive W's from last week. So, Red, it's on you. Who you going with?
Oh, God. Both teams I hate. Both teams I don't have no faith in. Lord have mercy. Not that it really matters, but I'm gonna take the 49ers at home.
All right,
Now, I
Red.
don't really have no reason. They at home. Both of the teams about the same. They both have quarterbacks who are very inconsistent. They both can win your game. They both can turn the ball over and keep you out of a game. Both defenses are pretty physical. 49ers at home. Vikings, you can prove me wrong, but I'm gonna take the 49ers.
All right. Oh, Vikings' last win was terrific. Pretty good one. All right. Let's see here. Kirk Cousins, Jimmy G. I don't like those quarterbacks, but
Yeah,
I like Kyle Shanahan and what he's doing for Debo with Debo Samuel. So I'm going to roll with the 49ers at home as well. Armani's rolling with the 49ers, and Sports Bay is rolling with the Vikings. Coach, who you got, man?
And Cousins has improved, but Debo is on an all-pro season. I'm going with the Niners.
All right. So Coach is going with the 49ers, and the only one who's not going with the 49ers is the Sports Bay. On to the next game. We got the Buccaneers versus the Colts. The Colts being one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and they're playing at home. I think some of that fire is going to be taken out by the Buccaneers, who got a reason to play because they got embarrassed in Washington, and the Colts play indoors, a controlled environment. Tom Brady won't have to deal with weather. Give me the Bucs to win, and Armani is going with the Bucs, and the Sports Bay is going with the Bucs as well. Coach, who you got?
I do not like the Colts under any circumstances, and Carson Wentz is due for a letdown. Taylor not running for 5 touchdowns on that defense. Buccaneers.
All right, Coach is going with the Bucs. Red, you've been high on Jonathan Taylor. Scott, your boy, said he's going with Jonathan Taylor for the win. Is this going to be one of those that you roll the dice on?
yes, sir. I am. I'm rolling the dice. I like Colts. Jonathan Taylor been impressive. Carson Wentz doing just enough, just manage the game. Colts defense has been the real key, and their rise. Them linebackers led by Darius Leonard. The Colts have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. That's why their run game is going to be efficient. Their defensive line ain't that bad. The linebackers aren't that bad. The secondary is okay, but I think it's going to be a competitive game. Colts win by a field goal late.
All right, so Red rolling the dice, and he's the only one rolling with the Colts. On to the next game, an NFC Central matchup. You got, AFC Central matchup. Two of teams that Coach despises, the Browns versus the Ravens. Redrick, it's on you, I believe. Who you rolling with, Red?
Let me make this real simple. I'm not messing with no Baker Mayfield, okay? I'm sick of the excuses. I'm sick of all the talk. I'm sick of the commercials. I'm looking for wins, okay? Wins. And that's what Lamar Jackson provides for his team. No commercials, no running his mouth. He just get out there and he win football games. Coach John Harbaugh wins football games. That's what they do. They at home, and I'm not even sure they had a letdown last week. I think they won last week. They almost had a letdown, but don't worry, it's going to be a convincing victory this week. Baker, you been crying about your shoulder? Well, the Ravens going to take care of that shoulder for you. Like old Bart Scott used to say, they're going to put a little hot sauce on that sucker, and they're going to rub it all the way in there, baby. And they're going to take care of that shoulder. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, Coach Harbaugh, biggest win of the season this Sunday night.
All right, and I'm going to roll with the Ravens as well. In Baker Mayfield, I do not trust. Plus, the Ravens, as Kelly Kell said, I'm rolling with the Ravens. Armani's rolling with the Ravens, and the Sports Bay is rolling with the Ravens. Coach, are you rolling with the Ravens?
I want the Browns to win, but for standing's sake, I'm going with the Ravens. I can't stand either way. And talking about Lamar Jackson in commercial, Those two things will not go together, so don't even worry about that.
All right, on to the next game. It's on me, Steelers versus the Bengals. This game is in Cincinnati, and I'm going to take a risk right here. I know Coach loves the Steelers, but I'm going to go with the Bengals and Joe Burrow to protect home field advantage. So I'm going to jump out there on that limb like I did the last Steelers game, and I predicted a loss for the Steelers, and they lost. So even though I like the Steelers because of Mike Tomlin, I don't know if they have enough to go into Cincinnati to beat the Bengals. So I'm going with Cincinnati. Shelby is going with the Steelers. Armani is going with his daddy's team, so he won't get a beating. So we know he wants to stay with the Steelers. So, Coach, tell us why the Steelers are going to win.
4 words. T.J. Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick. They didn't play last week, but they're back this week. And then in the first game against Cincinnati, T.J. Watt didn't play that game. And then Claypool was out. So we fully loaded where Joe Hayden is out, but we got to replace them. So we fully strapped on defense pretty much. And Lars being is still quarterbacking. So I think we can ease a 24-21 victory out over the Bengals.
All right, Red, do you share Coach's sentiment, or are you rolling with most of Rebonite Nation and Rev?
Most of Rebonite Nation and Rev. I can't believe Pittsburgh did that to me last week. After tying with Detroit, you come back and then you lose to who was that they lost to last week? The doggone Chargers, man. Yeah, come on, man. Y'all need to get that win. And now the Bengals, they've been winning, and y'all been losing. And now they need this game more than y'all need it. And they at home. I'm picking Cincy. Let's see what they can do. I don't know why. I'm picking.
Now you do know why the Steelers lost to the Chargers, don't you?
Yeah, I think they didn't have Minka and T.J. Watt
and Hayden and somebody else. So. You know, we made a comeback on them. Lars being said, I want to play another
y'all
game.
Did. That game, I thought y'all were going to win that game.
But now, Rev said a telling statement last time he picked the Steelers to lose, they lost. So I have some trepidation now. I got fear. And I have concern.
Just because Rev picked them to lose, don't mean they're going to actually lose, Coach. I'm saying,
I don't know.
But the Bengals have been playing ever since they let me down 2 weeks ago. They've been bouncing back. I'm gonna see if they can keep the momentum going because they fighting for a playoff spot. It's like everybody in your division fighting for a playoff spot, and only 2 people gonna get it. So we'll see. I'm going with Cincy though.
On to the next and last game of our pick'ems. It's a good one. Going to Green Bay, the Rams versus the Packers. Coach, I think it's back on you, man. Who you going with?
I'm going to go with the Packers. And after the Packers win, I'm going to say, I told you so. You guess what? Because I just don't trust Matthew Stafford. It's getting close to playoff time, and that's uncharted territory for him. So I don't know what you're going to get out. And they said they're going to get, what's his name, OBJ, more into the game plan. Watch that game plan go straight down. It's going to be the Packers.
All right, Red, you going with the Packers?
Yeah, they at home. Aaron Rodgers got, like I say, once again, he lost last week. Had to have his little toe show and tell for the media. So when he started doing stuff like that during the week, they let me know he ready to play. He gonna be ready to play this week, man. If he's showing off his ticket toes, he gonna be ready to play Sunday. And he at home. Sorry, Rams. Even though y'all need a win, y'all just happy to catch the Packers on the wrong week. But Green Bay, I'm taking Green Bay.
Packers by a foot. That's pretty clever. OBJ, Packers will be ankling for a win. I'm going to go with the Packers as well. I have not really seen Matt Stafford play in a cold weather environment. Even when he was in Detroit, he played indoors. So I don't trust him on the frozen tundra of Green Bay. That's a whole nother level of cold, especially this time of year. So I'm going to go with the Packers as well. And the Sports Bay and Amani are both going with the Rams.
Mm.
We'll have a little movement in the standings on next week. That concludes our NFL predictions for this week. Dante rolling with the Rams. And the president says the sole choice to win.
So sure.
All right, Red. You more time?
What's up?
Do you have a little bit more time?
Not really, but I'll give you my closing shot. You Kyle Kuzma, you had the right to never wear that pink sweater ever again. Okay, that little pink, too big sweater you had on, looking like a pink Frankenstein or whatever. Dude, I don't know what's going on in your head. We would have been another team now, thankfully, but don't do that no more, man. At least you could have did is come out and say you represent for breast cancer or some type of awareness, because I know that's their colors, the pink. But you weren't even smart enough to say that. So please, you got to right never wear that pink sweater again. Thoughts on the Hawks winning streak? I'm ecstatic that they finally getting back into it. LeBron definitely has had a wild week. I agree with him kicking those folks out the game. As far as that fight, we probably need to talk about that a little later. And y'all did have one more top. The Warriors, I think the Warriors are, yes, they definitely the team to beat in the NBA. I mean, 16-1, 16-2, Rev. This is Warriors all over again, back when they were winning championships. So we'll see. I'm saying, yeah, they even over my Lakers, even over my Hawks. If my Hawks played them in the finals, the Warriors would beat my Hawks. I'd just be happy my Hawks made the finals. If the Lakers played the Warriors in the playoffs, they sweepers, Rev. Right now, I'm saying they were sweepers. I'm just saying, right now, I think the Warriors are a team to beat, and they don't even have Klay Thompson back now. So, man, I'm definitely going to listen to y'all's opinions on it, but I'm just giving my little quick opinion before I go. So, I appreciate you guys letting me come on. You know how we do during the holidays at UPS. Rev, Coach, Shelby Anointed, Rev Night Nation. Love you guys, and I will see you guys next week.
All right. Have a good one, man. And thanks for joining
Yes, sir.
And continue prayers for your mom.
Thank you so much. She's doing day to day, but I'm here, and as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, she will get better. So,
okay, that's right. She'll be back on her feet by the end of the year.
And she's just going to keep doing, like I said, the nurse came by yesterday. She said I was doing a good job, so I'm just going to keep focusing on giving her medicine, making sure she's eating good, and it's doing the best I can to take care of. I appreciate everybody's prayers and thoughts. They mean so much to me, more than you can ever know. And I will look forward to seeing everybody back next week for episode 216. Thanks for having me. Peace. I'm out. Have a happy weekend, everybody.
And that'll be 2:15, Red. You jumping to 2:15.
Oh, sorry. 2:15. No, I thought we was on 2:15. Okay. Well, 2:14 been a good one. I look forward to 2:15 next week.
All right, peace. Red is out of here. Now you just got to deal with me and Coach. This is actually how Coach got on the show when Red was out and Coach substituted, and it was just me and Coach. So it seems kind of bare seeing just two people on the screen after we done had at times 5 people. So
we look like Stephen A. and Michael Irvin, on First Take.
No doubt about it. And everybody, thank y'all so much for lifting up Red's mom. We give kudos to Red for taking care of his mother, and we want to just continue to lift up prayers for Red and his mother, and we pray that she will get back to full strength so that she can continue to press on during this life that she has to live. With that being said, we're not going to do 5 for 5 this week since it's just the two of us, but we're going to go back to old school Red and Red sports show. And we're going to play Fair or Foul. Fair or Foul. And what we're going to do is there's going to be a statement that's going to be made, and it's going to be dealing with basketball. Before the VP let me cue up the music. The fair fouls are going to be strictly basketball driven. So, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a statement that's made, and if it's fair, That means basically I agree, and therefore a statement will be put together to talk about why there's agreement on that particular subject. And if it's foul, meaning I don't agree, then there will be a statement to share why there isn't a disagreement. Let's go to Lord LeBron's roller coaster week. And here's the question. Should he have been suspended last week after his punch or elbow to the head of brother Isaiah Stewart of the Detroit Pistons? Was his suspension, Coach, fair or foul?
Yeah, it was fair. You could look at it both ways. He meant to punch him. Some people say he didn't. Some say he did. But either way it go, the punch was made. So I just go. It was fair. They suspended him, which was a good thing. He need to get at least something and a fine or whatever. So yeah, it was fair. And I wish we had said about Isaiah. Yeah, fair.
All right. And the fans are saying fair. I agree it was fair as well. Like Scott just said, I've seen worse punches, I've seen worse elbows, but because of the sensitive sports environment that the NBA is now, I think it's definitely fair, especially since the blood came streaming down the way Isaiah Stewart
Got a biblical reference.
Yeah, biblical reference. And I'm not surprised one of the chief LeBron haters, Jerome Case, right on cue, he should have gotten 2 games. He probably wouldn't have gotten any if Isaiah Stewart didn't try to act like he was a thug and just wanted to go crazy like the president called him out on. He started getting crazy once he was surrounded by a great cloud of protective witnesses. Then he wanted to get irate.
What a great WWE moment. That's what it was. All the WWE moment.
Vincent Woodruff said Stewart's still trying to get an LBJ. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, since we're dealing with LeBron's roller coaster week, here's another LeBron question. Should he have been fined for his gesture that he made in the OT win against Indiana, where he basically grabbed his midsection? Coach, was that fair or foul? Should he have been foul?
No, foul. I mean, I know they've seen worse gestures, but he did in the heat of the moment. He grabbed and then he kept. He didn't hold his hand there and walk down the baseline to baseline. So he did it quickly and done it, but they had enough time to see it. So they fined him. I still think it was foul, though, me personally.
I'm going to go with fair. You got to watch where you put your hands, and we have to be respectful for the kids. We don't want kids to follow certain gestures and start doing them in high school and college games, and then we got a huge problem on our hands. And if LBJ gets away with making a gesture like that, then we are starting to open Pandora's box. So I'm going to say definitely it was fair on what happened to LeBron getting fined. One more LeBron reference. And here it is, Coach. Are the Lakers now contenders or pretenders after we've seen the roller coaster week that they've had, and then also after we've seen how they look without LeBron, and even when LeBron comes back, they've struggled to beat the Pacers, as well as they've struggled and wound up losing against the Sacramento Kings. So if somebody says, I'm sorry, I should have posed it in a different question. If somebody says the Lakers are contenders, it's that fair or foul, Coach?
I'm going to stay with fair. And the reason I say fair is I go back in history. Remember when the Heat first got together, those 3, Bosch and all them, they started out like what 8-10, something like that, and yet they went on to get to that and start playing well down the end of the stretch. I'm gonna give them contenders, but if you can look close, let me see if I can put it right up here by a fingernail. They contenders by a fingernail right now. I mean, it's only 21 games out of 82, so you can't dismiss them yet.
I'm gonna go here for Rao.
Not the Pharrell. I ain't heard that no.
The reason why I'm going for Rao is because I'm quite concerned about the Lakers' lack of continuity and concerned about LeBron's health. One of the reasons why he pushed for Russell Westbrook to come is because he wanted Russ to hold things down when he wouldn't play. I think he knew going into the season that his primary focus is to be healthy by the time the playoffs come. And I don't know if this team is good enough and young enough to be able to follow that game plan. We see that Russ and AD struggle when LeBron is not playing. And neither one of those two have assumed leadership when LeBron is out. So that's where I say it's foul. But then I could say it's fair because in a 7-game series, when teams are able to just lock in on one opponent where you don't have to worry about travel, I just struggle seeing a team, when the Lakers are healthy, being able to beat them 4 games out of 7. That's the difference. If this were NCAA, I don't see the Lakers winning it, being able to, win 1 game and continue to advance. I could see somebody beating them in that kind of format. But in a 4-game out of 7 series, I think the Lakers are able to hold it down in a 7-game series. Yes,
Okay.
we make room for such statements like this in fair or foul, Brother Vincent Woodruff. Yes, I did go in between, and I explained quite well why I went for Rao. I went for Rao, and we don't need you stirring up Sylvia Harris to go against her son. So, Vincent, you're banging for more comments on the screen. No, I'm just playing. All right. Let's move on to the next one, Coach. The Warriors are the NBA team to beat. Fair or foul?
I'm going to go for Rao. And only because.
All right, Vincent, you listen to what Coach just said. Sister Sylvia Harris, you listen to what Coach just said. Go ahead, Coach.
Because this is the regular season. And you got a lot of youngins that are playing well on that team. They got a nice little flow going. Klay Thompson comes back. Their flow keeps going. But youngins in the playoffs might not be ready for that kind of NBA action. So you look at that snake in the woods, and I hate to call them a snake, but the Phoenix Suns, they hiding right there, and they're winning. Nobody really giving them a lot of push. But Phoenix got those guys who played together, so that might give them a slight edge over the Warriors when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, just because of the experience factor.
I'm going to say this is foul. And I'm going to go straight foul because if this were the NCAA tournament, I would say fair all day, any day. I'm going to say foul because the Warriors don't have a big man. And I think that's going to catch up with them in a 7-game series. They will score quite a few points. Steph is on an MVP tear right now. If Klay comes back and is just 75, 80% of himself, that's going to be tough because he can shoot the lights out. Jordan Poole has been playing well, but he's not playoff proven. And
Right.
I don't know if he will be able to put up the same type of numbers in the playoffs, but also once Klay Thompson comes back, that's going to take away some of his touches. I don't trust Draymond Green being the only big man who's worth anything for Golden State. Now, somebody might say they do have James Wiseman. Well, we haven't seen Wiseman on the court. We've seen him get more DMPs than we have seen him play. So I can't trust James Wiseman. And in a 7-game series, I could see the Lakers possibly beating them. I could see the Suns possibly beating them. And even I could see the Denver Nuggets with a healthy Jamal Murray. By the time the playoffs come, I could see them beating the Golden State Warriors as well. And let's not forget, Steph does not play the greatest in the playoffs. Steph Curry, remember, has 3 championship rings, but no MVPs in the NBA Finals. So people do well adjusting to Steph in a 7-game series. So this is why I could see the Golden State Warriors not being the team to beat. And once again, Jerome Case, make sure he lets everybody know how much he can't stand LeBron. The Lakers may not make the playoffs.
But Rev, I'm gonna go. Your point was perfect about what you said using the NCAA analogy. If you had to play that Warriors team one game, you ain't gonna beat them. But over a prolonged series, if you are a good coach, you make that adjustment on Steph. Now you put it in somebody else's hand, and I pray that they put it in Draymond Green's hand because that's gonna be 4 straight losses. No, he can't carry a team. So yeah, even Klay come back. Now everybody's saying as soon as Klay come back, it's gonna get a whole lot better. But you don't know what Klay you get. He may be able to shoot. I mean, he still got his hand. But what about his defense? Does he trust his legs enough to play more hard defense? So it's still up in the air. But for right now, they the hot team. But Phoenix is right behind them, just waiting to catch them. So it's gonna be interesting.
Well, here it is. And Jerome Case, I'm going to address what you had to say.
No, man, what?
Are you telling me that the Lakers are not one of the top 8 teams in the league? Granted, the Warriors are better right now. We can go, the Suns are better right now. But after those 2 teams, what other teams are better?
Yeah, I want to see this.
The truth of the matter is LeBron being hurt or game managing, whatever he's doing, is the reason why the Lakers are struggling. I know how much LeBron despised playing in the play-in game last year. And I think once the second half of the season comes into play, you won't see LeBron take off as many games. And you're going to eventually see the Lakers go on a run that will get them out of the play-in game. So barring any major injuries, the Lakers are a playoff team.
I want to see who these teams he think are better.
Well, obviously he's going with the teams that are ahead of him right now. There are only 2 teams when everyone is healthy that I could say might be better than the Lakers in the regular season. That's the Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns. Any other team, I just don't see them being better than the Lakers. But the best ability is availability, and if LeBron is not available, that can definitely hurt the Lakers' chances. And going back to another question you raised, without LeBron and Russ being the leader, I don't see the Lakers being a contender, and I see them playing in the play-in game. That's what I see with Russ being the head. But if LeBron with them, I can see they're not going to struggle to make the playoffs.
No, this is taking a while. What they got to do? Google research? It's taking a long time. The show will be over. We'll be starting next week.
All right, last one before we go to You Have the Right, Coach. The Atlanta Hawks are soaring, and it will continue. Fair or foul?
Yeah, I give them credit. They have come on to play some serious basketball. Seven straight. Moved up, but look what they moved up to, the number 7 position. So you had to play that hard. Now, if you had to force yourself to play that hard the rest of the year, that's gonna be kind of tough. People say you can take a day off, but who you gonna take a day off against? Let's see here. Here the Hawks. They got the Knicks, the Pacers, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Minnesota, and Brooklyn the next few games. You about to get tested in a couple of those. They're going to be okay. And, of course, they're going to make playoffs. But I think that 7-game streak about to come to the end in a few games. I don't think it's going to make 10. That's personally. But the Hawks are going to keep playing well. I don't know about soaring.
I'm going to say it's fair. And I'm seeing something that is going to have to make the Atlanta Hawks make a tough decision. Isn't it ironic that the Hawks are soaring once again once DeAndre Hunter is out? He's injured. And we see that's when they make that run. The Hawks go to the Eastern Conference Finals without DeAndre Hunter. And I think the Hawks are a better team without DeAndre Hunter because they're able to put a more pure scorer and shooter on the court when he is not in the lineup. You take DeAndre Hunter out, you put Kevin Huerter in. Kevin Huerter is a more consistent outside shooter. Not to say DeAndre Hunter can't shoot outside, but he's not as consistent as Kevin Huerter. Then that also gives more minutes for Cam Reddish. And when you know where your minutes are coming from, you're able to better mentally prepare for games. So this is why I could see the Hawks continuing to soar. They may not go on a 10, 12-game winning streak, but I see more W's coming down the pike than more L's because they have better chemistry now that they don't have all of these players who are similar, trying to compete for the same minutes. So this is why I see the Hawks soaring, and that's why I say it's fair.
So Cam Reddish is not starting?
No, Cam Reddish is not starting because you got Huerter in the starting lineup with Bogey, Bogdanovic. They're starting at the 2 and 3, and you got Collins at the 4. You got Capella at 5, and, of course, Trae Young at the point. So you got Reddish playing more minutes because you don't have to insert Hunter, so you got Reddish playing the 2 and 3, which gives him a lot more opportunities at the basket. And he's a much purer scorer than DeAndre Hunter. And I think if the Hawks are smart, once DeAndre Hunter gets well, they need to look at getting DeAndre Hunter up out of Atlanta because he gets hurt all of the time. Try to get some value for him and then go ahead on and invest that money in Cam Reddish rather than DeAndre Hunter. All right. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for Fair or Foul. We're about to draw to the conclusion of the show, and you all know how we get down. You have the right to do what, when, where, and how. And Red gave us his you have the right. Coach, who has the right to do what, when, where, and
how? Frank Vogel and the Lakers, you all have the right to make a change, make a turnaround, do something, hug yourself. I don't know what you're going to do, but this is your time right now to dispel some of the doubters and go on like a 5 or 6 game winning streak and let your presence be known.
All right, Coach goes with the Lakers. You have the right. You have the right. Stays in the hometown of the show, Atlanta. Matt Ryan and Atlanta Falcons, you have the right to continue to not score and lose football games so that you can get a better draft pick and get in position to either draft a quality franchise type player on defense, because there are really no quarterbacks that are game changers, or you can use your high pick and orchestrate a trade to get some trades, not only in this coming draft, but in the drafts to come. So let Jacksonville spoil your day. Go ahead on and lose like champions in Jacksonville. Enjoy the sunshine, Atlanta Falcons. Go on the beach, why don't you? Enjoy the beach. Go ahead on, spend your time all night long out in Jacksonville, enjoying the beach and the sand, and take an L on with the Jacksonville Jaguars so that you can continue your downward spiral for a better position. That's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Where you have the right. I want to thank Coach for hanging out with us for the entire show. Red, big ups to him. Hope he does well with UPS. Stay safe out there delivering those packages or preparing the packages. Armani and Shelby, we know that y'all are not holiday troopers, but we're glad that you all are still part of the show. And we need y'all to step up your game being with us on some holidays, because we don't take holidays off. But nevertheless, everybody, be blessed. What you wowing for, Alexis? I'm calling it like I see it. I'm calling it like I see it. All right. Let's see. Maddie Rice, Patty, you have the right to hire Ronnie DeVoe as your realtor. Time to move to Cartersville. Should have saw Sister Ellie Von Williams. Atlanta Falcons take the L's. That should be a hashtag. Take the L's. Let's roll with that, Miss Williams. Take the L's. No doubt about it. You all know how I roll. Here we go. But thanks, everybody, for watching episode 214. Enjoy this great college football week. The Georgia Bulldogs are already taking Georgia Tech out of their misery. They're about to go up. They just went up 17-0. So we don't have any drama going on in the ATL. And we got a bunch of rivalry games going on. Feel free to post your picks with our picks, as we will post them in just a moment. Coach, any closing words?
No, sir. It's going to be an interesting weekend with these rivalry games, and a lot of stuff is going to change. And on our show, it's going to be very interesting next week with the it's going to be interesting with the picks next week.
No doubt about it. There'll be some movement in the English picks. So C and EP has officially slammed down the gavel to end episode 214. Everybody, will see y'all next week. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Peace and love, everybody. And we are officially out.